we are, 2024, Boston PLRB. Really excited to be here. More excited about our guest on Coffee with Kev this week. Go ahead and introduce yourself, because I won't do it the right honor. He's going to do it the best honor.
Rod Patterson, Vice President, Director of Property Claims at Seneca Insurance.
And he's kind of downplaying himself a little bit, I think, right now, because you're also an author, right?
I'm the author of Guard Your Gates, Simple Steps to High Productivity, book that is designed to help people get from here to there in a very efficient way.
Maybe we'll just jump right into the first question off the book. What would you say are 3 essential tactics to writing a book?
Well, if you're going to write a book, they say that writers write. So I would say just get into the discipline of writing, putting your thoughts down on paper and just continuing to log them, because it's a good practice. And then when you're starting to write your book, it'll be easier to keep it going and to flow with the practice. Second thing I would say is decide if you're going to self-publish like I did, or you're going to seek out a publishing company. If you self-publish, you have more control, more creativity, and you can get it done efficiently, lower costs, etc. But if you use a publishing company, then it's not just you. You have a team of people helping you to make sure the theme is right, the marketing is right, etc. But it can be a little pricey if you're going to go that route. With Guard Your Gates in particular, you know, we talk about 3 essential things that you do with Guard Your Gates.
Okay.
Which is organize. That is, understand what you're up against, set your goals, make sure you focused on your goals, defend, respond, be responsive to what those demands are, show up, be ready to deliver, and guard, be proactive. You know, don't just react.
Yeah. All right. So since I've been in the industry for 17 years, I've been doing everything from working in restoration companies up to now being on the expert side. And I find that the claims that I'm involved in now with Forte are on a different level of complication, and some of those very much are Seneca type of claims. What do you consider to be the most complicated aspect of insurance claims?
Well, first let me say the insurance adjuster is an incredible being. Like, claims is my life. I've done claims my entire career. So I've done first and third auto, I've done workers' compensation claims, homeowners, and now commercial property claims. And so claims in general are difficult because a claim is a crisis. Whenever you get a call from an insured saying I have damage to my property, they're in the middle of a crisis. One of the challenges in dealing with a crisis is managing the emotional aspect of it.
Yeah.
So you need empathy. You need to be knowledgeable. But what complicates claims is coverage, because the policyholder has a certain perception and understanding of what they're covered for. But you, as the insurance professional, you have to know the coverage. You have to be the one educating them on the different policy terms, conditions of the policy.
Yeah.
And that is not always black and white. And communicating that to a policyholder in a way that they understand, they may not accept it, but at least they understand it. It can complicate the claim. So understanding the coverage, and I think what I would suggest for young insurance professionals is that don't be a maverick, right? Review the policy, make sure you understand it, but also discuss it with your manager.
All right, so you recently posted a picture with your daughter in Atlanta, and you were riding Segways. If you don't mind, I'm gonna put the picture up. You can tell me to take it down, or your daughter can tell us to take it down. What's a piece of parental advice that you have?
Wow, it's a really good question. First, I love being not only am I an irresistible husband, wife in the past.
She's watching this right now.
Love her. We're going to go into our 33rd year of marriage in July. We have 2 amazing kids.
Yes.
Eric and Chi. And so what I would say to a couple looking to have children is do it. Children are a gift. It's not only, it's just an opportunity to pour into them all your experience to give them the best chance at life. It is so hard to imagine the type of love that you have for your children. I mean, can you just hug and kiss on their neck and just, have fun when they're little, right?
Yeah.
Can you wrestle with and do all that kind of thing? Kids are amazing.
Now, normally I save this for later on in our show here, but let's go and jump into Ask the Asker. Rod, you get the chance to ask me anything.
First question, Yankees or Red Sox?
Philadelphia Phillies. As a Phillies fan who has been bred to hate both, I gotta go Red Sox. I'm sorry, but if you said Mets or Red Sox, I would have taken the Mets.
That hurts, but it's okay.
Okay.
I'm a good guy. I can take a little pain.
I didn't want to just tell him what he wanted to hear.
Second question is,
yes.
How do you balance family life with business life?
Yes. Obviously, you travel like I do, right? Like we're at conferences, we're at things, and I look at my time as flexible. It was the perfect fit for me here at Forte. If I am away all this week at this conference and I go home on Friday, if there's something going on Friday, as long as my cell phone is with me, I can be at it. Because I can check my email, I can take a call, I can answer things that need timely answer, So I look at my time as very flexible, and I am at everything. I mean, literally at every event that my kids have. They might be watching this, and hopefully they're agreeing, but like if there's a track and field event at 4 o'clock, as long as there's not a webinar I have to be on, I'm there. And I might be standing there watching the track event with an earbud in my ear, talking to somebody for 5 minutes, but that's just the way it is. So, but then that means that at night, at 8 o'clock, if I'm sitting on the couch, I might have to send a few emails at that point. So I keep my time very flexible and very fluid so that I can be there for my kids, complete my job, and make sure it all goes well. Okay, so what is an unexpected lesson that you learned in your time in insurance claims?
I don't know if it's so much unexpected, but it is still a lesson.
Okay.
That is one of the things our CEO tells us is that don't mess up the big stuff. The small things you can sometimes recover from. Some big things you mess up, that's going to leave a scar. And so what I've learned is you must make sure you work in collaboration with your leadership. So if there's something really complicated that you're working on, be sure to be inclusive of the team, and everyone will appreciate that. John Maxwell, I believe, said that people are up on what they are in on. So if it goes south, right, everyone was part of that decision process. So there's really no big surprises. But if it goes well, everyone was part of that decision process, and everyone feels good about it.
One of the things when we were prepping for Coffee with Kev, you had mentioned was DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. What are some things you're doing at Seneca to promote DEI right now?
My personal passion in these years of my insurance industry life is to bring in younger talent into our industry. Where a lot of us are aging out, and with that, the knowledge base goes out. But we're trying to transfer that knowledge into a new generation of people coming into the industry. And that includes not only young people, but people of color, women, et cetera. Trying to broaden out the industry. The industry is woefully underrepresented at various levels in the business. So what I do, I'm one of the founding members of Crumman Foster's Inclusivity Council.
Oh, wow.
And one of the architects of the Advocates for Black Equity, which is an employee resource group. That work has really brought me into a lot of different circles, namely the National African American Insurance Association, where I act as an advisor for our New York City chapter, along with other great, inspiring individuals.
Question, and I've been very big on tech questions in the Coffee with Kev series lately, but what are your thoughts on some of the newer insurance tech that is existing in the market right now?
So I attended an InsurTech conference with amazing new technology coming down, whether it's regarding to issuing payments, inspecting losses, I love the 360 dimensional imagery.
Oh, I love that stuff.
It's really incredible. And so there are a number of things that's coming out. And even at Seneca, we have introduced some new technology on the underwriting side. We call it Seneca Express, where it allows new submissions to be, information to be extracted from it and get given to our underwriters so that they can move business along rather quickly with our partners.
Yeah.
And so that kind of common sense technology, there's a lot of room for it in claims. So I'm excited.
Insurance fraud. Insurance fraud is something that I find very fascinating. I used to teach a insurance ethics class, and I used to love just looking up cases on insurance fraud. And I even have some great stories from my time in insurance claim. What is a standout moment where maybe you caught somebody trying to or did commit insurance fraud?
So we had imagine a fire.
Yeah.
Building catches on fire. Now, imagine you go to the fire, you investigate the fire, everything is burned. However, a piece of equipment seemingly destroyed is still there. You're able to retain a company like Forte and come out and they evaluate the equipment and they're able to salvage the data on that particular equipment. And imagine reviewing this data, this footage, and you see a certain person pouring liquid.
Oh my gosh. So I like to end, I'd like the last question to be something that leaves people with an inspirational word, but I want to stay on the insurance claim side of things. Insurance claims can be a very difficult landscape because most of us are operating on an island. We're by ourselves, whether we're working from home or whatever. What is something you do, or what is something that you tell people to keep them motivated and not feel alone, or what is just something you say to people or do to help keep people motivated?
Well, I tell my team that my goal for them, my personal goal for them, is happiness. Very simple. I want you to be happy in your job, and whatever I can do to help that process, I'm willing to do. Because if you're happy in your job, I don't have to force you to come to work. If you're happy, then I don't have to force you to do your job and be responsive. If you're happy, I don't have to worry about other companies coming to poach you and do whatever. So my goal is to help you feel good about yourself in our company. And how do we do that? I tell people you have to know how to act. You know, it's hard to take kids different places. They don't know how to act. They misbehave all the time. You have to know how to act. You have to be available. You got to show up, do the job, be ready to work. You have to be committed. That is, you take the time to build your knowledge, attending PLRB conferences, you know, understanding coverages, understanding communication, and you have to be teachable, realizing that you don't know everything. I don't know everything. I can learn from you, you can learn from me, but if you know how to act, then we can do amazing work together. And for me, my life quote is from A.L. Bernard, is where he says you teach little by what you say, you teach more by what you do, but you teach best by who you are.
Bet you guys, when you sat down to watch this Coffee with Kev, I bet you didn't think there were going to be so many inspirational moments in this bad boy. Rod, thank you so much for being on the show, man.
Thank you so much.
What y'all don't know is this was many months in the making. I'm so glad to finally have you on, and we wish you guys all the best, and we hope you have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks. My man, you killed it.
You're the man.
You're the man. Are you kidding me?